Tusk's recruitment consisted of elite soldiers that have a long history of working with the United States government. Ex-Special Forces, Marines, Rangers and even SEALs. Agents from the division, although having an opposing ideology, could be a tremendous asset if they are turned. Within the week, Schaefer contracted 5 operatives: Elijah Sumner, Alice Galveston, Jack Bonney, Mila Wyvern-Radek, and Petrus Brenner. Each one, with the exception of Bonney, was recruited into the military before, where they served multiple years and developed into strategic advisors or PMC contractors.
How's Bonney fitting in?
The others think he's a rabid fucking weasel. They aren't wrong.
Yeah, well, you need to make it work.
It'll work just fine. I ain't yet met a Bronco I can't break.
How soon will the unit be ready to deploy then?
It depends on the assignment. We could be ready tomorrow if we're just cracking heads. But more complicated targets will require custom training.
Look, nothing fancy for now, but there's a lot of groundwork to lay. Obstacles to be knocked down.
Knocking shit down is my specialty.
Yeah, I know it is, Bar. But you be ready to move out in a week, and no fuck-ups.
You have my personal guarantee.
As Schaefer was getting his unit in order, satellite surveillance shows the start of Black Tusk's invasion of the United States. Moving from their strategic locations, Black Tusk started advancing on civilian communities, JTF outposts, and areas outside of the big cities first. In the meantime, President Waller activated the second wave of the division in New York City. However, Waller was starting to show signs of struggling under the crippling pressure of the pandemic.
Where have you been? You ditching meetings now? I was summoned by Waller.
What the hell for?
I don't know. It was strange. I think he'd been drinking.
Waller?
Yeah. I've never seen him like that. Rambling on and on about his legacy before green poison came along.
Nostalgic for the good old days, when America wasn't collapsing around him.
I guess. He kept telling me that Mendez means well and needs allies. The implication being that I should be nicer to him.
Yeah, we'd all be nicer to him if he was less of a dipshit.
I wonder if Waller is thinking of resigning.
Oh, God help us if he does.
The stress of the outbreak took its toll and Waller collapsed from a massive heart attack. As per the 25th Amendment, Vice President Thomas Eliezer Menendez was the next in line to become president. Menendez was sworn in as president in Washington, D.C. and refused to leave while the then Vice President Ellis and other surviving members of the government were evacuated to NORAD headquarters in Colorado Springs. Menendez was considered horrible at leading the country because of his unwillingness to make decisions, and many thought he was unfit for the position.
Oh, I gotta run. Mendez wants to talk to me about something.
Lucky you. I'm sure it will be stupefying.
God, there's gotta be a way to get this guy out of office.
Believe me, thinking about that is what I do instead of sleeping these days.
You sure you'd want to be in his shoes?
Absolutely not.
Well, somebody has to step up. And you're not allergic to making decisions.
That I'm not.
It wasn't long before Mendes supposedly committed suicide. Many people had suspicion it wasn't a suicide, and audio recordings and echoes confirmed Black Tusk was involved.
He's left-handed. Huh? He would have held the pistol in his left hand. Big fucking deal. You think anyone's going to notice? I think we had best not take chances unless we want to face the consequences. Whatever. Wipe the grip and do the job properly. Fine. There. You happy? Of course not. This situation is completely fucked.
Oh, Mendes wasn't going to unfuck it. That's for damn sure.
Can't dispute that.
Mendes is dead. Let me guess. Tragic case of involuntary suicide?
Something like that.
What a proud moment in the illustrious history of the Secret Service. I say that in all seriousness. That guy was a disaster.
You think we can hurry this up?
Got someone with beat tax?
Yeah, anywhere but here. You promised safe passage out of the city.
You boys certainly earned yourselves an express ticket out of this predicament.
Ugh.
I think you got him, Brenner. Yeah, you got him.
I had to be sure.
Get him stowed. We're done here.
I guess you haven't heard about Mendes.
Who is this Mendes you speak of? Sounds like a real moron.
Not anymore.
Oh, he's resigning?
He's dead. He offed himself, apparently.
Mendes?
Yeah, no shit. Uncharacteristic of him to actually follow through on something, but now it's all gonna be on you. Hope you're ready for it.
Ellis was sworn into presidency from NORAD HQ, unbeknownst to his staff that he was working with Black Tusk. However, Ellis trusted one colleague enough to tell him about the deal he had struck with them.
Jesus, Andrew. Are you sure about this?
You said it yourself. Somebody has to step up.
What do you know about these people? Can you trust them?
I'm just a pawn as far as they're concerned.
Isn't that kind of a shitty position to put yourself in?
The thing is, pawns are dangerous, precisely because people underestimate them.
You think you can turn this to your advantage?
I'm confident I can make myself indispensable and get some things done that have needed doing for a good long time.
I don't know. This is a dangerous game to play.
Is there any other kind these days?
As Black Tusk continued their invasion of the United States and Ellis picked up his duties as president, the mysterious benefactor that messaged Ellis before the outbreak, codenamed Mantis, contacted Ike Ronson, a division agent in New York City. Sentinel, this is Mantis, acknowledge. We have intercepted comms indicating a civilian in possession of valuable intel has left Manhattan. Your orders are as follows. Pursue the individual, engage and assist as needed. Ascertain her destination and observe. Name, Kelleher, April. White female, early 30s, hair red-brown, eyes blue, height approximately 5'7", medium build. May be in possession of a division backpack, armed. Probable destination, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Kelleher, after having met Koopman, found out her husband and other parties in Manhattan progressed the research on broad-spectrum antivirals. In her goal to find answers on her husband's death, Kelleher started hiking towards Ann Arbor, Michigan. Months later, in May, slightly south of Ann Arbor, Ronson caught up with her and escorted her to the biomedical research facility on the edge of North Campus. Upon arrival, Professor Kavita Chandrasekhar, the lead researcher in Ann Arbor, confirmed the existence of the broad-spectrum antiviral. An entire batch, 24 doses. However, it wasn't on location. The scientific advisor of President Ellis had requested the synthesized antiviral serum was sent to Washington, D.C. for secure handling.
Our primary task is to reclaim the capital from the hostile forces that presently control it. These include operatives of the Strategic Homeland Division, now considered a rogue agency that must be brought to heel. Civilian militias and remnants of the three dominant factions active within the area of operations must disarm and submit to the rule of law, or they will be classified as insurgent groups and dealt with accordingly. We have seen little evidence that anyone in this shithole of a city intends to play nice. So I advise that you shoot first and shoot last. It is notoriously easier to
Black Tusk, aware of the development of the broad-spectrum antivirals, sent troops to secure the research facility in Ann Arbor and contacted Ellis to order him back to Washington, D.C. Black Tusk couldn't risk the broad-spectrum antivirus falling into the hands of the Division. The Division didn't know of Alice's true loyalty, and as per Directive 51, still answered to him.
Hey, we need you in D.C.
DC? Why?
Look, our biggest obstacle in this whole venture is the Strategic Homeland Division. Now, technically, they answer to you. Realistically, they're a bunch of self-governing cowboys who answer to no one.
You think they're going to be a problem?
I think it's a risk, which is why I want you in their faces 24/7, reminding them who they work for, and watching out for telltale signs of misguided idealism.
Misguided idealism.
If they fall in line, they'll be a tremendous asset. If they get in our way, they're going to be a hell of a pain in the ass, in which case we need advanced warning so that we can take preventative measures.
When do I leave?
As soon as the plane's done fueling, you'll be kicking up your heels in the Oval Office by sundown.
Listen, Sarah, do you have a moment?
Of course.
I wanted to personally let you know that I'm leaving for DC in a couple of hours.
Isn't that risky?
I've been assured I'll be quite safe.
When are you back?
Hard to say.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of putting you in charge of things here, if you think you're up for it.
Wow. Of course.
Good. That's good. In that case, I'll need to go over some things with you, one-on-one.
Sure. Okay.
It's hard to guarantee privacy in my office.
We can use my quarters.
Good idea. You must be Barton Schaefer. I've heard great things.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't listen to idle talk. I'm pretty lacking in redeeming qualities.
Right. Aren't we all?
So, let's talk about this cure-all snake oil I'm supposed to ship out of here.
Yes, about that. The situation is a bit complicated.
No offense, but all I need from you is information. I can do my own assessment when I have all the facts.